Welcome to FitTalk with Coach Luis. If you're serious about getting fit, then this is your show. This is a podcast where fitness enthusiasts share all the ups and downs, the challenges, and the victories on their fitness journey. Now, here's your host, Coach Luis.
All right, welcome everybody to our first really fun collaborative piece. We actually called it Thoughts Become Things series. This is our first episode, and what we're going to be doing here is talking about all things wellness. So it's not only about eating and exercising, but it's also our mental health, right? Being mindful, stress, being present, meditating, how our environment affects us, and so important, our stress and our sleep. So my name is Luis, and joining me today are Lisha and Chantal. And I really am truly honored to be working alongside these amazing professionals with this collaboration piece. And I really look forward to all the great tips and the overall help that we'll be able to provide through this. We'll also be introducing a specific nutrition-based series with Chantal, as well as newsletters. So all we really want to do is provide some good, solid, valid information to help you all on your wellness journey. So with that being said, let's get started. And today we're going to start with Chantal, and tell us a little bit about what you do and where do you live?
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be partnering with Welcome MD. I am a registered dietitian nutritionist out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I own my private practice, which is called Real Food Nutrition. I am providing all virtual nutrition counseling and medical nutrition therapy to anybody around the country. I take health insurance, which includes Blue Cross Blue Shield, Aetna, Medicare, and United Healthcare, which is wonderful because a lot of folks don't realize that they do have that benefit of nutrition counseling, which falls under preventative wellness. So people get really excited when they hear their insurance will cover sessions together. So I love what I do. I've worked in the clinical setting, in the hospital setting. I've also worked in corporate wellness in the past, and private practice was the way to go for me so that I can develop a longer and more personalized relationship with my clients. I've had some wonderful success stories with people I've worked with for the last few years. I also, have some people I meet with once or twice, and that's all we need, and then they move forward. So I've got a wide variety of clients. I love what I do. It brings me purpose. I take it very personally what I do. I also try to use all evidence-based research to provide therapy to my clients, right? So knowing that science is the answer as to how we guide and we practice in this field. And it's what keeps me going every day outside of my family. So
Absolutely. Thank you so much for sharing that. I love it. And it's so important to be able to meet everyone kind of where they're at. So it's good that he said sometimes you just meet somebody one time or twice, and that's really all they need. So it's really good that you get to do that, and also that you do work with insurance, because then, like you said, so many people have no idea. So they won't even go to someone that can actually help them because they're like, I can't afford it or anything like that. But then understanding that they actually can use their insurance for it is such a massive help. So that's really, really good. So what do you feel that drove you into being healthy and into wellness?
Well, I feel like knowledge is power, right? So the reason I became a dietitian is I went into food service sales straight out of college. And when I worked with these large food manufacturing companies with their sales teams to distribute the product line that I was selling, I was appalled to figure out that health is really not prevalent when it comes to the purpose of a lot of restaurants, right? It's really down to making money, and I can understand that as an entrepreneur for myself, but I felt it was so important to really begin going down the track of helping and educating the masses to let them know when you eat at a restaurant, you may not know what's in the food that you're eating. That may be contributing to cancer or a diagnosis of diabetes or heart disease. When we eat out so much, we really don't know what's in our food. Or some folks think that they're able to trust a certain brand of food product in their cooking, and they don't realize that canola oil and vegetable oil actually does lead to heart disease when it is marketed as a healthy food option. And we really do need to be using olive oil in our cooking more so than not. So little tips and tricks like that make a huge difference for folks. So that's what's kind of led me to it, is I just want to educate people to make better choices. And I'm learning new nutritional evidence information every week, staying up to date on the most recent information. And I love sharing that information with my patients, but with individuals in general.
Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important because it's just like you said, a lot of times people have no idea. There's so much information out there that everyone just gets lost. So it's even more of a reason why we put this together, to just help everyone to say, okay, well, we can go to one spot and get a lot of that information, a lot of the tips, because one day something's good and the next day it's not good. And then a month later it's good again. So everyone is there's so much information and so misinformation out there too. So that's why we even decided to make that specific series just on those specific items as far as nutrition, because there's so much that goes into it that we need that type of information. So any good books that you read that help you out with stressors, especially now with the world that we're living in right now?
Absolutely. So nutritionally, I would say that the books by Dr. Mark Hyman, I love all the book series he has, but Food, What the Heck Should I Eat is one of my favorite books. There's another book related to brain health and nutrition. It's called This Is Your Brain on Food. And this book really focuses on what foods to eat more of, or to remove as much as you can out of your diet, so that you can help yourself manage different mental disease states. So anxiety, depression, OCD. Did you actually know that you can eat a specific diet and that'll actually help you reduce your anxiety and risk of depression, or manage it that way? So that is how powerful it is.
Absolutely. And it truly is. It's just insanely powerful. Mark, I love listening to the Doctor's Pharmacy, this podcast for Mark Hyman. It's such a great podcast because it does give a lot of good information in there for all of us to just listen to, and you're getting it from a good source. That's another thing that I love about it. It's a great source. So before we jump over to Lisha, what message would you want to send out to anyone listening?
Well, I want to share one of my favorite quotes, and I use it all the time in practice, but I always have it up on my computer as well to remind me. So Hippocrates said, "Let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food," which I think we've seen that a time or two somewhere, but it's sending such a powerful message. So I would let that be a guide for folks out there to say, well, there's more to food than just consumption, right? To just satisfy hunger. There's so much more to colors of the rainbow that you consume, and each choice is a good choice towards your health as far as what you eat versus, can it actually degrade your health over time? So that's something I would leave with people to think about in 2021, about making good choices and healthy choices for longevity.
Absolutely. It's funny because when we first talked, you told me that was your favorite quote. That's literally what I have right there on that wall. And that's when I knew, okay, this is it. We have to work together to bring the truth out to people. Absolutely. Because you really are what you eat. So if we're trying to figure out what's happening, let's start by, what are you putting in your body? Let's start from there. So thank you so much. So how can people reach you if they want to get some help from you?
Absolutely. So my website is called Real Food Nutrition. It's Real Food Nutrition, CO, as in company.com. My direct email is Chantal, which is CHANTAL at realfoodnutritionco.com. And my contact information is on my website. All the services I offer are on my website. And if you just want to get in contact to connect, I'm there too. So
excellent. Thank you so much. And we look forward to continuing to working with you. And everyone, again, you have her info. So if you want to reach out to her, please feel free to. So now we will go over to Lisha. How are you doing today?
Doing great. How are you, Luis?
I can't complain. I am surrounded by amazing people, so I am very, very happy. So,
wow.
So thank you. So we're gonna go ahead and start with the same as well with you. So I know where you live, but let everyone know what state you live in and what is it that you do.
Yeah, so I live in Richmond, Virginia. I'm actually a native Richmonder, and I'm the founder of Bliss Yoga RVA. So I offer private yoga classes. Currently, we're doing those virtually. Um, Small group classes so that folks get individualized attention. And I lead group workshops that are about 3 hours in length. So you get a beautiful, deep, long 3 hours of yoga. I work locally with a meditation partner as well. So Bliss Yoga RVA also offers monthly fourth Sunday of the month meditations, as well as some special events. And I was listening to Chantal talk about, you are what you eat. My mom used to have this sign on her office bulletin board that said, you are what you eat and you are what you think. So really, yoga is about your mind. And so I'm really passionate about helping people figure out a way to let their minds stop running them around. And really, because I know what it's done for me personally. I've heard the testimonials from my students. And yoga has been something that's changed my life for the better.
Yeah. And that's why it's so important for us to share these things. How, in the beginning talked about being present, the importance of meditating, the importance of being present in the moment, just the mindfulness, how important it really is for our overall health. Because even with the eating part, even if you eat healthy, but you're rushing to eat and you don't take your time, that also affects how your body processes those foods. So it's all in one. Our mind, our body, our second brain, which knows our gut, all of it is just, it all works together. So again, thank you for being here to share those things and your knowledge. So what is that you feel that drove you to being into this?
So my mom had a really strong influence on me as a young person. She was a gardener, and we helped with planting, weeding, harvesting, and we were eating plant-based and local before it was trendy.
Cool.
So that was a big influence on my life, and I think I didn't even have the awareness of it till much later. Later in life, she found meditation and healing touch. Really, I saw her get really grounded spiritually through those practices. So that was a really strong influence on me, and I honor her legacy. She's no longer with us, by continuing to take care of myself and make healthy choices. And teaching yoga, to others and practicing it myself. Those are the ways I really honor those teachings that she gave me at such a young age.
Yeah. And that's
beautiful.
True
inspiration. Yeah, she really was.
That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure that keeping her memory alive like that is also so important. So that's great. Thank you for sharing that. So any good books that you read to help you out or to de-stress?
So I will say that as a yogi, there's so many yogic ancient texts that have really distilled sort of what's important in life. Things like gratitude, joy, your relationships. All those things are covered in yoga's ancient teachings, and we have them here in modern day life. There are a couple other books that I've really enjoyed. One is by Nishala Joy Davy called The Secret Power of Yoga. I happen to have it here. And then Brene Brown's The Gifts of Imperfection. Really a beautiful read that says you're already amazing the way you are. And you're perfectly imperfect,
It's true. I like that because we are so individual, and we really are just people that if everyone was the same, it'd be very boring, wouldn't it? We're all just completely different people. So we are. It's true. You're beautifully very individual. I like that. I like that a lot. So what message would you want to send out to anyone listening?
You are amazing. You're amazing. Chantal, you're amazing. Luis, you're amazing. And there might have been some times that you got lost on the path, all of us. And that there was a point, though, when you said, I got this. I'm good. I can do this. And it was like this inner compass got you back on track. And we are all wired with this innate ability to be perceptive and to persevere. And I encourage you to listen more to that inner voice, because everything you have is right in here already. Everything you need. You're wired with that. So listen more keenly, pay attention to that inner world and what's happening in here. Because it will guide you back on the path that you're supposed to be on every single time.
Absolutely. That was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. You know, one thing that I've been doing, at least to help me personally, is doing like a morning reflection and just focusing on one thing and trying to work on that one thing all day. And then at the end of the day, seeing how I did with that one thing. So it's been really helpful to, instead of having, like tons of goals and things you want to work on, that's helped me be more present and be more mindful about what I'm doing day to day. And it's been very, very helpful. So I think that's one thing that maybe we can, if someone listening needs some type of help, they can maybe start by doing something like some mindfulness thinking right first thing in the morning and right in the evening, So how can people reach you if they want to get in contact with you?
Yes, so they can go to my website, blissyogarva.com. Can also email me at lisha@blissyogarva.com. And I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, Bliss Yoga RVA. So I'd love to hear from folks that might be intrigued enough to want to give yoga a try.
Excellent. Absolutely. And to everyone listening, we will put in the description of the episodes, we'll put both of their contacts on that, where you can go to the podcast website and do it through there. So it'll be on the Welcome MD podcast. It'll be on my FitTalk with Coach Lee's podcast. It'll be on all of our websites. So you can get a hold of us in one of those ways. You'll be able to get a hold of us. So excellent. And there's one more thing. I'm gonna unmute Chantal. So there's one more thing that we're going to be doing probably like once a month or so. This is, you guys don't know about this. This is called, I call this Jar Patricia. So people that listen to my show now, they know what this is. So this is like about 3,000 questions in here that they're just very random. So we'll be doing one probably once a month. And I'm just going to shake it. I'm going to pull out a question and we will each answer that one question. It's just going to be really cool for people to get to know who we are, and kind of like, it's just a very fun thing to just wrap up things, and there's no really reason or rhyme to it, but it's just kind of fun. So we're gonna do one now. So you're all muted, right? All right, so here we go. Question 2700. It says, if you were told you had to downsize your life, where's the first place you'd start? So I guess I'll start with that one. I've been doing this for a year now. So I went from a 3-bedroom house to a 1-bedroom apartment, and downside, the next thing I would start with is probably monthly premiums I pay for that I'm probably not really using, but have gotten accustomed to having them, like maybe 5 or 6 different streaming things, Netflix, Hulu, whatever. And that's probably where I would start, I think. That's what I would do. So there you go. That's my answer to that one. Who wants to go next?
Okay, I guess I'll go. It looks like Lisha's still thinking.
Right.
Something that I would definitely work on, which I've started working on in the last few weeks, is removing the clutter, the physical clutter from my house, so that I can remove mental clutter. I'm somebody that the way my brain works is I tend to think in circles, where I will start a project and then I may not be able to finish it because I have 2 young boys, or I have emails that come in at the same time and I may get distracted. So I've noticed that when my physical space is decluttered and more simple and comfortable, then my brain can think better and there's less mental clutter. So I think removing physical clutter helps to remove mental clutter. That's what I would do.
Yeah, that is 100%. 100% agree with that. I like that. Lisha?
It's a tough one, but I manage multiple email accounts, and it's a lot to manage. You know, there's a work one, there's a personal one, there are actually a couple of work ones. So I think skinnying that down, so that it's more streamlined, and that way more efficient and more effective for me to manage my work life and personal life. And we all get lots of emails, and there are times when you miss something important, or you're just realizing how filled up your box is with spam, and maybe you don't need that account anymore. You know, maybe it's time to let it go.
Absolutely.
And that just occurred to me when you asked the question. So I'm going to do it. Next time we talk, I'm going to have skinnied that down, I think. I'm going to start the process. Yeah.
See, so there is value to these questions. See? Well, awesome. Again, thank you both so much for jumping on and being a part of this. And I really do appreciate it. So, and everyone listening, stay tuned. We have a lot of good things happening, and we look forward to talking to you guys again soon. Bye.
Thanks for checking out Fit Talk with Coach Luis. Remember to follow us on social media, on Instagram at Live2Progress and on Twitter at Live2Progress. Stay tuned for more episodes of Fit Talk with Coach Luis coming soon. And remember, always live to progress.